Hey guys, what's up? It's me again, Tom from TTT Tom's Tech Time. Welcome to a new episode of mine. Today I want to introduce an entire new series of videos. It is going to be an instructional series of videos for aerial filmmakers and photographers. What I'm doing is I am on social media and I'm always scanning for the best photos and videos. And once I find one, I'll try to get in touch with the creator, and then I'll try to get that creator to hop on a video call with me, and then I will be asking questions like which equipment did you use, how did you capture that shot, etc, etc. I basically want to find out how they made it to capture their amazing artwork. And we're gonna get started with a photograph that is actually technically not an aerial. It shows a drone circling a tree at night and kind of like painting light into the sky. It is an absolutely fantastic photograph. It was recorded by Alexander, and I was on a video call with Alexander just a few minutes ago. Let's right now enjoy this video call. And if you like this series of videos, then don't forget to leave a thumbs up. And of course, don't forget to subscribe in order to never again miss any of my upcoming educational videos. Again, stay tuned, enjoy the episode. Don't forget to share this video. And if you want to check out the entire series of instructional videos, then click at this link that should be down here. Now, lean back, take some popcorn, and enjoy this episode.
Hey, how's it going, Tom?
It's going very well. How's it going over there?
Not too bad. It's a beautiful day here.
Yeah, I can imagine. You're in Utah, right?
Yep, Utah, near Salt Lake City.
I really loved your photo. I came across that because I'm always, of course, looking for photos and awesome videos and all kinds of stuff. And then I came across your photo, and it was an aerial, even though it was not an aerial. So that was pretty special. And I didn't often see people really creatively using their drones in terms of taking photo of the drone itself and not with the drone. How did you come up with that entire idea, and which gear did you use?
So it was actually something that developed over quite a long time. I started toying with the idea of doing what I call light painting. It's a popular form of experimental photography, I guess, if you call it that, where but most of the time you take something handheld like a light wand, or it looks like a lightsaber, and you just do a long exposure as you move the light, and then it leaves a trail anywhere in the image. So I always felt ridiculous when I was doing these photos, waving a wand around. You look totally silly when you're doing this in person. And then I thought, like, well, I'm pretty good at flying my drone, and my drone's pretty maneuverable. And so the first thing I did was I just set my tripod up, and then I just kind of flew my drone around in front of my camera and simultaneously flew my drone and then pushed the shutter button. And I did about an 8-second exposure just over and over again. And I just tried different patterns. And then I started kind of figuring out what worked and what didn't work. And I got this really interesting one where you basically tell the drone to spin and go upwards, and you get this really cool spiral effect. And so that was like, got a lot of attention. And so I thought, okay, I gotta take this to the next level. And so then I started thinking about, well, it would be pretty cool if you could have a subject and then actually illuminate the subject enough to see it on camera. And so I'm in engineering school, so I started thinking about how I could attach my own lights, and eventually I made this little light bar that sticks with Velcro, and is pretty straightforward. And then I just started flying around stuff like mounds of dirt, trees, towers, like water towers and stuff. And what really made it work, these photos work, is the intelligent flight mode, the point of interest shot, because it allows you to, once you get it set, it'll just fly in a perfect circle. Not really a perfect circle, actually, but yeah. And then I just kind of started experimenting with that, and then I ended up making halos over trees.
But that's pretty cool. So does it mean that you photograph the LEDs, the inbuilt LEDs of the drone, or did you attach any external lights?
So I actually did both. At first, I just used the LEDs on the front of the drone, and then I started thinking about how to get more light, and I wanted a brighter source of light, and so then I just kind of made my own lights. I was told when I posted one of the photos that people commented on, like, you can buy stuff, you can buy like extra LEDs, and I was like, I'm an engineering student, so I kind of like to do things the hard way, I guess. But
that's pretty cool. That means you built the lights yourself?
Yeah, I did. Nice. It's totally homemade, but it works really well. It's made out of a ruler, like a wooden ruler. It's really simple. And then I use these LEDs that they come in just a strip, and they have a sticky adhesive on the back. And then I just taped it to the ruler and then did some wiring. And what I really liked about doing it the way I did was that I could control it with the button on the controller because they were hooked up to the red LEDs. I didn't know if aftermarket ones had that capability, but they take quite a lot of power, and so I wanted the ability to turn them on and off in the air, and so that was what I shot for.
So that means that you wasted your warranty and just went all in and.
Big time. I completely tore my drone apart. I actually soldered wires onto the terminals of the Mavic battery. And I cannot recommend anyone ever do that. When I first turned it on, I was mentally prepared to lose my drone because I understood like how risky what I did was, and it worked. It turned out it worked okay.
Yeah, the cool thing is, as you said, that you're not just seeing this perfect halo of the tree, but you can even see the tree lighted up by the drone. That's really special.
It takes quite. You have to get past a certain threshold of being able to put out enough light, because if you know anything about like long exposure photography, the longer you leave your shutter open, the more light you collect, which is good, except if you have any kind of light pollution, whether it be from the cities or what's even worse is the moon. So you have to be able to light up your subject enough to do a short exposure, like 6 to 8 seconds. And I guess it was longer because the tree halo one it took about 15 seconds to do that, a full revolution around the tree.
That means you just flew around the tree once or several times?
Just once.
Cool.
Yeah, and I kind of timed it to where like the start and the end of the circle were out of view. And the reason I did that is because the point of interest flight mode doesn't actually fly in a very good circle in terms of like how even it is.
I just wanted to say, on the photo it looks extremely even, but maybe that's exactly because you hid the star.
There's a little bit of editing, but not a whole lot of editing. And so, yeah, and that was part of the learning process, was realizing what I had to work with. And I'm not a professional photo editor. I don't use any special programs. Usually I'll take one part of the circle, like half the circle, and then I'll mirror it over, and and it works out pretty well. I don't think it's cheating necessarily, but because everything else is exactly what the original photo looks like.
So you mean only half of the halo you kind of split and mirrored, but the tree and everything is the original, purely, entirely.
Yes, the tree is pretty much. I brightened it just a little bit, but I didn't use any other I didn't stack any other images except the exact opposite of the half circle. Which
editing program did you use in Drone? Did you use Photoshop?
No, I can't afford Photoshop. No, I actually used a pretty straightforward program called Polar. It's an app on the iPad or the computer, but I liked it because you can use it on the iPad. It's not anywhere close to Photoshop.
But let me pause you there. That means for this entire photo, you didn't use Photoshop?
No.
That's amazing. That makes the photo even better.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I try to keep my photos as close to, you know, what the originals are, and that could be a limiting factor, honestly. But I would like to learn Photoshop.
That is actually pretty great. Yeah, actually, that's the same for me. I want to learn Photoshop too, and I'm quite good with Adobe After Effects and Premiere Pro. But for photography, it's a whole different world. So I'm trying to catch up too. And but again, your photo at first, I really thought that you did some heavy editing to that, and I thought that you were quite a pro using Photoshop.
Well, yeah, that's why I was really excited about the photos, because like when I even looked on my LCD screen after I took the photo, I was like, okay, I'm onto something here. This looks pretty cool. Yeah, I think it took me about 20-30 minutes to edit.
You make this more spectacular. I'm not even kidding. You make this more spectacular. Firstly, you tell me not using Photoshop, and now you tell me that the whole editing process took like 20-30 minutes. That's pretty cool. Now I want to do that too.
Yeah, I think the nature of the photo makes it really easy to edit in terms of like part of the circle. I don't know if you saw in the email the original photo. Could you see this part of the halo that wasn't quite as perfect circle?
I don't know. I saw tiny edges in the circle itself. Maybe that is what you mean?
I guess it looks like there's ripples.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's the one thing that I really had to edit. But yeah, I didn't spend more than 30 minutes. And most of that time editing was just trying to align the stacked image so that it looked like a perfect circle.
Is the Mavic, by the way, still alive?
Oh yeah, it's alive and well. The Mavic's been through a lot. It's been the subject of many experiments.
That is so cool. Yeah, the Mavic is actually quite a tough drone.
It's very durable. I have crashed it into the ground in sport mode.
In sport mode, and it survived, yeah. I guess. 40
miles an hour. The front arms got folded back, and it was just plowed into the dirt. And all I had to do was replace the 2 cables going into the gimbal. So I took the gimbal apart, and it's.
But maybe it helps to be an engineer.
It does. I think, but I still looked up videos and watched YouTube videos very, very closely before I felt comfortable doing it. I've taken my gimbal apart 5 times now.
Well, but at least the drone is still alive. That's good to hear. So, and now the final question of mine, what would you recommend? What is your hint for other fellow drone pilots out there, filmmakers, photographers, hobbyists, everyone, amateurs? What should they do in order to get the most out of their drones to capture amazing aerials? Or in this case, again, I don't know what the category of your photo was. It's not an aerial, but it's not non-drone related.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I didn't know when I posted that photo on DJI photography group. I didn't know if it was going to get approved because it technically wasn't a drone photo. It was a photo of a drone.
Exactly.
Try not to, when you're trying to think about what kind of shots you want to do, don't rely so heavily on what you see other people do. Don't be afraid to try anything that hasn't been done before. Get a little bit outside your comfort zone, and most of the time, things may not turn out, but I think if you just keep trying and if you're not afraid to go a little bit outside your comfort zone, I think the reward is definitely worth it.
By the way, did you know that the word photography comes from Greek, and it basically means, I wrote it down for you, it means drawing with light. Isn't that?
Oh, really?
Come on, that's epic now.
That is really cool, yeah.
So in the very end, I just want to say thank you to you, Alexander, for sharing your knowledge, your photograph, all the behind-the-scenes making of knowledge that with only seeing the photo, we of course couldn't know. And it was really enlightening to me without Photoshop, and then you didn't even use any bought lights, but you really installed things yourself. That's all pretty exciting. And as a little sign of my appreciation, I want to give you one of my drone shirts for free. You can pick any drone shirt on tomstechTime.com/apparel. Just look them all up and then pick a design, and then you can basically send me the link and I'll ship that to you for free. Thank you so much for being on the show. I hope that this episode was super helpful to all of you out there. If you want to see more of these episodes, then don't forget to leave a thumbs up, and of course, don't forget to subscribe in order to never again miss any of my upcoming episodes again. At the moment, I'm planning on doing one of these very special videos per month. So that means that if you stay tuned with my channel, then you can learn a whole lot about aerial photography, aerial videography. It is all up to you. If you watch enough, if you leave enough thumbs up, and if some subscriptions add up finally, then I will definitely keep this running, because to me, this is really exciting. I can learn so much from all the different perspectives and all the different biographies of the photographers and filmmakers. This is so cool. And by the way, if you want to follow Alexander's work on Instagram, his name is, if I'm not wrong, Hardwired Engineer. I was correct. Hardwired Engineer on Instagram. There you can see his entire artwork. And now, thank you guys for watching this episode. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe in order to never again miss any of my upcoming episodes again. I said that already. And now, because it's pretty late here, he's in Utah. I think we have a 7 hours difference in time. It's pretty late here. I'm now gonna go to bed. The entire light here is not real. It's tons of soft boxes lighting up the room. Good night. Bye-bye. That was Tom from TDT, Tom's Tire Tech Time.